Hello, everyone. My name is Geetha Krishnan. I host a gratitude radio show for the last 5 years, and I'm the host and the creator, as well as a corporate trainer and a coach. And that has really brought into being because of so many wonderful experiences that I've had right from my childhood. As a little child, I grew up in the suburbs of Mumbai in India, Maharashtra, India. And the best things that I can remember about my childhood is spending a lot of time with my grandma. We were so close to each other. We were so connected, and everything she did, everything she brought about, we just so soaked ourselves into her love and affection, and the gratitude that really built was at that time. I didn't realize it so much, but now that I'm in the path of gratitude and I'm teaching and training people, I go back to that moment and I sense and I realize that that was the time when I started off uh, in the journey of being grateful. It was not a very easy childhood. Um, we were not born with a silver spoon in our hand or mouth, and it was a small home, and all of us used to live together. My grandmom was very pious, and she was always forgiving to everybody and anybody. There used to be other relatives at home who used to be always angry, or there used to be commotion at home, and but yet still, I could see both the sides of it. It was just that it was so powerful to understand, to know what you should follow and what you shouldn't. And that was the learning at that early age. I'd really realized that. And as we grew up, it was watching them. And as I grew up as a teenager, I used to be very angry myself. I used to get, um, probably it was just the teenage years. Now that I have my own son who is a teenager, I feel it all the more. But then it was more of the surroundings and the things that are happening around you that just eats onto you. And I used to feel a lot of anguish inside of me. And my grandma used to just be so calm and composed. And she used to just, in spite of all that, she accepted me as her own. Obviously, I was her own. It's not that as on a relationship level, but even otherwise, to let go of the misgivings and the acceptance that was there was something so powerful that I felt. And I'm so grateful for those minute opportunities that I got. I remember I used to go with my sister. My sister was very little at that time, and my grandmom used to carry her in her, um, arm. And I used to walk with my grandmom, and we used to go walking all the way. And there was this little tiny, uh, shop where we used to buy these little toffees. They're more like chickies, we call it here. There's groundnut chickies and cashew nut chickies. And it was just a small quantity of them. And my grandmom used to um, purchase those for us. And you know, even today, going to Costco and you get those little uh, cashew nut sugary thingy, and you can buy loads of them, but you still don't get the same taste that I enjoyed it at that time. I still feel that that was the most tastiest of the sugary candies that I had so many years back, because it was like bought for me by my grandma. And it was just a little bit of amount that she may have collected for herself, and she used to treat us with that. So that these are the moments that I'm so grateful for, and that's what made me uh, grow as a person. And as I grew up, and I moved on to the journey of being a gratitude leadership coach and a trainer. The reason that I entered the gratitude coach um, field was as a corporate trainer. I was training in organizations pan India as well as after going to US. So at one such organization, as I was training, I was doing this workshop. It was a team building workshop. It's a very hip and very positive, energetic workshop. And by the time I was the second half of the workshop, that is in the afternoon, I could sense a lull. I could sense that they were not up to it. They were not very energetic or even wanting to participate. They were just there for the sake of it. And somehow that was really bothering me because I my workshops are generally very energetic and very amazing to uh, do. And I was wondering why is the crowd not enthused in what is happening there? And I kept probing and I kept asking them. Nobody would reply. Nobody would say anything. And during the workshop and later, and finally, the next day, in the afternoon tea, as they were sitting down with the group and they had become quite comfortable and interactive, I asked one of them, said, why is it that in spite of such an energetic crowd, you all are really a positive crowd, why is it that none of you seem to be so um, wanting to participate and wanting to be there? And I got the most sad answer that 90% of the crowd, all of them had received the pink slip. And they were saying that this is just a way to make us feel good. That's the reason they organized this workshop. And it is not something that they would want to do for us. They just don't want us around here. That was so shocking. That just hit me. It was like somebody poured a big bucket of ice cold water on my face. It was just hit me, and I started feeling that why why are we even doing what we're doing? It started. I started feeling that so much so that I started understanding how can I be more effective as a trainer? How can I be more better as a coach and a support system to help such people to really make them even when they are in such a challenging situation, they've lost their jobs and I cannot make a difference. And that really made me want to go deeper, more into it. And I realized actually I stumbled upon gratitude. I started working, understanding it more deeper. I started researching and finding out more information about it. And I started practicing it myself. I started telling myself, okay, if I'm going to work on something, I need to do it myself. And I put myself into that path of being grateful on a day to day basis. Whatever the challenges, whatever the hurdles that come my path, I would still be grateful for them. I would still be honoring them and still be focusing on. And believe me, this just changed my life for the better, for the abundance that reached out to me in the most uh, fascinating ways. It was like I couldn't expect such things to come my way, and that really had things happening. I just went on to create the radio show that I have now. It was in with complete gratitude to my husband. I started the radio show, and people from all over the world joined in. I had a string of a waiting list of people wanting to be on the show, and I had no clue how, because it was just happening. I was just following the path of gratitude. It just made things work for me. People connected with me. Even Marlene Mohammed Power, she connected with me because of gratitude. It was something between us that really pulled us together. Someone, Julia, connected me with her, and that's how it happened. It was something that really brought things, just like we say, the radio, the connections. Um, Marlene is wonderful about sharing that, and I want to reiterate that, is we all have our airwaves rolling around. So how do we connect to that? Who is connecting to that? And in what beautiful ways that we can connect? It's the vibration, it's the frequency. And having the gratitude radio, that created that frequency in harnessing the beauty around it, the abundance around it, the power of positivity around it, and just pull people to us, me as well as what is happening around me. And the most beautiful example that I can give of that is I was taking this Uber ride in Atlanta, uh, Georgia, and I just started talking to the person who was driving, and she was amazing. She was doing a lot of work, and I started asking her questions, and she asked me back. And I mentioned to her that I'm a gratitude coach and trainer, and I do workshops in the woods. I do a gratitude walk, take people out there and make them more connected with gratitude. And she got interested in that, and she started asking me, what is it all about, and how do you go about doing it? And it was just a casual chat. She was riding the cab, and I was sitting behind. I was telling her I was totally passionate about what I was doing, because that is my calling. I realized it then at that workshop, and I continued on my journey. And I was talking to her, everything, whatever came to my mind. It was just an open talk, just like I'm talking to each one of you. And all of a sudden, she just said that she was also working also as a producer of a TV company, a TV show, a revolutionary profitability paradigm. And she wanted to cover my story for the Women's Business Month. Just out of the blue, she just reached out to me, and she said, I'll come down and cover your whole gratitude walk, the on the move, and I would want to cover your radio show. I've used to have it as dynamic growth with gratitude before, and she asked me to invite my guests over. So in my studio, they came over, and I had my guests drive down 2-3 hours from North Carolina to Atlanta, Georgia, and she was there with me to be there on the show, and we did the interview. It was so beautiful. There were listeners joining in as a conference call, so there were listeners joining in. They shared their gratitudes. The guests shared her gratitudes and the journey, and how basically it's all about how we can create gratitude in ourselves to help us grow, to uh, to face challenges. And it's not that we don't have challenges. All of us have our uh, bones in our own closets. Each one of us have that. But how are we using it in spite of having those challenges? How can we turn it around? Gratitude is a tool that turns it around. Even if there are challenges, we are still being grateful. Even if there are difficulties, we are still being grateful. I hurt my foot, my ankle got badly injured, and it was so bad that I couldn't even walk. I had to just sit all the time, because even if I would walk for 5 minutes, it would start hurting so bad. And doctor suggested surgery, and I didn't want surgery. I kept praying, I kept feeling grateful for what I had at that moment. I I had a home, I had my family, and I could spend time with my family. I could work because I was also working online. And even in spite of having that ankle injury, which was excruciating, it was so painful. I had to keep my foot up. I was still doing what I could do, cooking for my family home and taking care of them as well as doing my work. I was doing that and I was continuously being grateful for that. Even though I was in pain, I was grateful for that. And in fact, in hindsight, today, it's been 2 years and I'm touch wood, I'm absolutely fine. I'm able to walk around and I'm able to do all the work. But that injury motivated me to be more healthier, be more stronger. And today, I've gone totally vegan and I take care of my health. I've lost over 15 kgs of weight just because I got back into the mindset of being grateful and wanting to be healthy and positive. I was always a very good physically, always wanting to be healthy, and I was taking care of myself. But because of the ankle injury, I wasn't able to move and walk around, and I put on 10, 15 kgs of weight just like that, just because of inactivity. And that actually motivated me to get back to health. And today I'm supporting many more people to be healthy, to be themselves, to be happy and be grateful. What more can I ask for? It was not that uh, because of that incident, I changed a lot of things, but it was the learning that gratitude can make all the difference. Gratitude is making all the difference. Every second of my life, it's making the changes that's happening continuously to even today, whatever things that I'm doing, every step of the way, all the things that I'm doing, it's all towards the same direction. And it's my calling, it's my uh, milieu, it's my support system, it's my pleasure. And every way that I can see, I work and I go towards gratitude. And that is bringing all the energy back to me. That is why I'm so, so honored to be able to share with all of you. Every time we uh, want to be somebody, we keep thinking, how can I make a difference? But then when I'm grateful, I don't have to think about it. It just happens. It just flows. And the continuous flow of gratitude, that motivates me. That really supports me and pushes me to want to do more, to inspire more. And every way that I can do that, I would just jump in, just want to be there in the water and just go for the swim. You know, at, at times you feel that there are so many challenges. How am I going to be grateful? Right now, I don't have food on the table. How am I going to be grateful? Or right now, I don't know uh, which place I'm going to live. How am I going to be grateful? But then looking at ourselves and telling ourselves, at least even though I don't have food on my table, I have a roof over my head. I can create something out of nothing. I can grow some vegetables. I can go and do some work to bring in some amount of money so that I can get food on the table. So it's basically moving from what I don't have to what I have. Everybody has a lot of things, but we don't realize that. When we go and look at somebody who does not have legs, that's when we realize that I have shoes, and I'm so grateful for just having those shoes. And that smallest of change makes all the difference. That change is so powerful. It just magnifies itself. It just creates so much of energy and power in each and every one of us that it can take us miles ahead. It has helped me go all those miles ahead. Every time I think about it, I remember I was uh, running, and I've run a number of half marathons. And first time I ran my half marathon, I was like, how am I able to do it? How am I going to do it? And it was uh, in Florida, in Orlando, and we had to drive down to Daytona Beach in hurricane weather, literally a hurricane weather. It was totally white sheets, straight. We couldn't see anything on the road. And my husband drove us down there at the event. And I am so grateful to him, because that was the most life-changing experiences that I've had. It was so powerful that day I went out to run, and the wind was blowing on my face. I still feel and I still remember the fragrances and the woods, the cedarwood trees out there, and the beautiful view. And I was running. The rains had just stopped, but the roads were slushy and wet. And when I started running, the wind was pushing me behind, and I could feel that it's pushing me 2 steps back. So I'm going 1 step ahead, and it's pushing me 2 steps back. But in spite of that, I just went on, and the 6 months of training that I had, that supported me. I kept thinking, I only thought of enjoying the journey. I only thought of how am I able to walk through and run through the whole 13.2 miles. I didn't even think about the 13.2 miles. It was just the path that I focused on. And I know it is uncanny sometimes to reflect back, but just focusing on the journey and being grateful for the opportunity that was so amazing. I'm able to run over a 13.2-mile run. That itself, the half marathon, holding that beautiful medal in my hand and looking forward to it, that was all I needed. And it just helped me to go through, and being, in spite of the uh, challenges, in spite of the hurdles, that how am I going to do it, or will I be able to do it? Nothing of that came to my mind. All that came to my mind was, I'm going to finish it. I'm going to be there. And I just did that. It just uh, is one of the most amazing moments of my life that I ran through, and my friends came there to support me. One of my friends, Edith, she held my hand, and she took me out the last mile of the 13.2. So and then my family was waiting there. My son and my husband were waiting there, waving out cheerfully, looking forward to see me all good and rocking and cheering. These were the moments, and I'm still going back to those moments. I'm grateful for those moments, because that is what made me who I am today. That is what creates all that energy inside of me. And today, when we are talking about this beautiful global life skills day, the emotional literacy that we can all connect with, that we all have, it is all there inside of us. It's just for us to be able to connect with them. It's just for us to be able to understand more. How can we be more connected to who we are as a person, and how can we be more uh, understanding of who we are? And gratitude really helped me do that. It really made me understand that how am I going to make a difference? It made me understand that all these different experiences that I've had time and again, the struggles that I've had, the inhibitions, the internal fights that we have. It's basically, it's not possible to stay positive all the time. You need some kind of a tool to help you to stay positive. And gratitude was that tool that really helped me stay in that positive light. And this wonderful journey with Parenting 2.0 life skills that I am with all of you today, it's just another facet of the gratitude journey that I embarked upon. And I'm so honored to be able to do that again and again. It's just really close to my heart, and I'm sincerely wanting to support everybody on the Global Life Skills presentation day today to be able to focus ourselves on our gratitudes and the journey that we have started. That's a calling that I have, and I want to continue on this beautiful calling to support and inspire many more people who would want to get on the path of gratitude, because the more we can do that for ourselves, the more we will be able to do it for others. And I personally, I have watched the talk, I have seen it, how it has changed my life, how it has brought so much of happiness and nourishment and abundance in every way. It's not just one thing that I'm saying. It's health, wealth, it's happiness, every side, every facet of it. People, relationships, everything improves so beautifully, so amazingly, just by feeling that we all can be more grateful. So thank you so much for the wonderful opportunity to be able to connect with you all. And it is a blessing to be in this path of understanding who we are as a person and being grateful for just each and every one of us. How can we be more understanding to each other? Because when we know ourselves, we can at least take that one step to want to know others and understand others better. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of the day.